Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the ONOG 2016 circuit presented by Geico and Alienware. This is feature tournament number 1, Group A. Once again, I'm TJ. Joining me is Chalky, and we're about to jump into the losers match between the two invited players for Group A, Admirable and Firebat. And both these players are sort of mainstays in the scene. Admirable more known for being a commentator, but recently making a huge surge at going back to being a competitor. And Firebat, of course, 2015 world champion or 2014
Wow.
champion, et cetera, et
So
cetera.
easily forgotten.
Yeah. And Chalky, you know both these guys.
I do.
Admirable's one of your practice partners.
He is.
They have sort of similar lineups. Who's coming out on top?
Um, well, do we see Firebat's Warlock deck?
No.
Yeah, I don't think we did. We didn't see his Warrior either because it was banned, right?
No, we saw
We saw his Freeze Mage,
his
that
Warlock
lost,
deck was banned.
and we saw his Druid deck,
Okay. All right.
and that was it. So,
Admirable was playing Patron.
yeah, Admirable, Patron. Did we see Admirable's Warrior? But I know it's Patron, but
We saw it in a Freeze Mage match. He played against LBYS's Freeze
yeah,
Mage.
yeah, yeah.
So
Admirable playing Zoo, Shaman, and Patron. Looks like Firebat also has Patron, and Admirable's just going to lead out with Zoo.
And this hand looks very similar to one of the opening hands that he had last time with the Gormok and the Doctor Boom and the Haunter Creeper. But this matchup, it's been kind of close, but it's Patron favored. Just because they have a lot of ways to remove the board. If they ever get to a turn where they can build a lot of patrons, it's really, really hard for Zoo to take back the board from a patron warrior who's taken the board. I would go on to say that it's nearly impossible.
Yeah, at that point, you're mostly just looking to end the game with bursts, like through the Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
But if you lose the board in this matchup, it's pretty much done deal. Two ways of winning. Well, I mean, main way of winning is just be on board, and your board can't be cleared as Zoo. The other one is just barf out a bunch of minions early and they kill your opponent, which is also staying ahead on board, but just in a more aggressive way.
Yeah.
So sometimes you go coin juggler and they don't have an axe, and you say, okay, Direwolf Alpha, punch you for 4, and you just go to the races and kill them.
This is probably a ladder thing, but I've actually been seeing a lot more brawl in Patron Warrior lately.
Ooh, I haven't seen that at all.
Well, I don't think you play as much ladder as I do.
Probably not.
I'm not cool enough to have practice partners.
Yeah, I'm actually not even legend this season, man.
My practice is on ladder, and so I think I see weirder things than you probably do.
Well, it's good to be prepared for weird things.
Yeah, but I mean, it sort of makes sense, I guess. If you're playing against a lot of Zoo, it's like an oh crap card kind of thing where you really need to clear the board right now, and you didn't draw your Despite and you didn't draw your board sweeps. But
Direwolf Alpha is a really nice draw here. Otherwise, he was looking at maybe having the power overwhelming just to get through that.
it doesn't leave him with that strong of a board, though.
Yeah, and I mean, he could just Whirlwind to get rid of it, or set up I think with the Monkey, the Whirlwind looks a lot nicer. Whereas if you didn't have the Monkey, he wouldn't really have much to do.
Yeah, Despite's charge into a Direwolf Alpha, which would die from the Whirlwind anyway. Doesn't seem that great, and you don't want to.
Yeah, and
leave it up
he doesn't have the
gets
Patron.
defended.
If he had
Yeah.
Patron, it'd be the play for sure, but no Patron.
Oh,
Oh, almost 2 sports, but still very okay. That's a fine result. I wonder how much Firebat's just going to punch him. Looks like, yeah, I mean, there's really no reason not to just hit all face. So, it is kind of nice to put pressure on the Warlock player.
he is lethal on turn 8. You swing with Despite next turn, equip Despite.
Oh my god.
Swing with Despite on turn 7.
That's kind of trolly, but it's like looking at your hand when you have a really weak hand. It's something you kind of think about. You're like, maybe I could just punch him to death.
And that ruins it.
Yeah, Defender Vargas is gonna obviously take that thought out of Firebat's mind.
Yeah.
But, maybe that was in his mind. So,
Sometimes.
Warlock decks are playing they're playing Sea Giant, they're playing Doctor Boom, and you have Big Game Hunter, but it's your only minion. And you have Battle Rage. Do you hold it or not? It's pretty tempting to play it. He's gonna hold it.
Yeah.
Which is probably correct because there's a Sea Giant in Admirable's hand, so we're probably going to see that come down now. Admirable's about to apply a lot of pressure if he goes abusive Gormok. He could opt to play safer because playing 2 abusives into a Despite, you kind of know their fate.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that much damage. I mean, you'd be pushing 4
Push
on board.
8 this turn.
Plus 4, plus 8 from hand.
That's a lot. That's
yeah, but
12.
you're just putting him sub 20, and all of your stuff's gonna die except your Gormok.
TJ, this is a lot of damage. That's a 6-1 imp. Look, he's at 17. You know how much damage is on the board? 12 plus a PO.
He just that's not the second charge of Dustbite, that's first charge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now with the Fiery War Axe, he can do some cute stuff.
Yeah, but that's so much value wasted. That's a 4-mana whirlwind that you just.
Yeah, but if he just attacks, he's probably just gonna lose.
Yeah, that's true.
Still holding on to this BGH, which again is going to come in handy later, probably.
Yeah, he can execute the Gormok to save.
I might have been tempted to play the BGH here for the extra card draw off Battle Rage, just from the Despite Whirlwind, but yeah, he's gonna execute, like you said, to save the health, and now it's really on Admirable to find some better stuff than what he has, because
yeah,
I feel like Firebat's put himself in a nice spot considering how poor things looked.
Draws into some burn too with Leroy Jenkins.
2
Double
eggs.
egg. Ugh.
As weird / not good as this seems, I mean they can't be removed by Grom, so he's probably just gonna have to Grom face, which isn't that bad either.
A 4/9 is actually really good.
Yeah, Admirable has a BGH in his deck, but I feel like he's going to walk right into this BGH.
So if he implosions his own egg, if he doesn't roll a 3 or higher, if he rolls a 2, then he can't play Sea Giant.
Yeah. Do you go for it? I probably would.
I think you have to.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it was correct because you're. Ooh, he's gonna be in a real bad spot now after this BGH, though.
Yep.
Probably just jam out the patron too. It would be kind of weak to this PO implosion that's coming. Like you basically just give your opponent something to PO.
If Admirable taps next turn, he's got lethal on board regardless. Without a Defender Vargas or something like that. So I don't know if there's really a huge reason to play it, because you have lethal. Pretty much anything that enrages your Grom would also give you lethal. So
this game is super weird and grindy now. Anything that enrages Grom is lethal.
Rage, Whirlwind.
Rage is gonna do it.
Wow, that game looked super grim for Firebat for so long. But Admirable just seemed like he whiffed on so many draws. If
the
you draw
Fiery
just
War
a
Axe.
creature,
The War Axe, it could have been the second Whirlwind as well, but the War Axe off the top to proc the Despite was really the key there.
wow, yeah, and that's one of those games where the strength of Patron in that matchup shines through, because even with a not a poor start, because it was a decent start, but even with not the best start, they still have lots of ways to just clear the board, come back on board, and they always have Grom plus Enrage to close out a game that otherwise would have been unwinnable.
I think it really illustrated the power of just getting that extra face damage in, like the turns where Firebat would just go face with the Monkey and the Despite, just chipping in extra damage whenever he could. It sets you into those awkward win conditions where normally you look at the hand Firebat had where he just literally couldn't make a second Grim Patron the entire game, and you think, wow, this is terrible, how can you win? But he literally just punched Admirable 3 times with a Gromish and won because he got in that chip damage early. So kind of just shows the importance of playing to some weirder outs rather than You know, just playing your traditional outs and waiting and waiting and waiting.
The old double wolf.
Yeah, I am a little surprised Firebat didn't go for a coin ping. He does have good follow up with like a Doomsay the next turn. Just gonna take it slow though, and the Frost Nova pickup's really going to supplement that plan because now he can set up a Doomsay or Frost Nova later.
Hearthstone history quiz for you, Chalky.
All right, hit me
Who
up.
was the first player to realize that one wolf was superior to two wolves in the Hearthstone meta of early 2015?
What? What does that even mean?
There was a player who popularized a deck with one Direwolf Alpha when prior to that Zulus were running double Direwolf Alpha.
You stumped me, man. I'll say Trump.
I don't actually know the answer, so we're gonna go with Trump. You're correct.
Thank you. You're far too kind. That was a terrible history question.
I know.
Unlike this Doomsayer, which is great.
It's a great history question.
Ooh, that's gonna be a full board. It's not really gonna let him do anything though. I mean, do you just fireball? That's a lot of damage, TJ. That's 25.
Huh. Sure.
Sure, seems
Turn,
good.
turn 10 win condition to start pinging face.
You got it, man.
There you go. That's a pretty weak turn 6 as well. I mean, it puts a lot of power on the board, but defender only hitting one target.
Mm-hmm.
Not too much proactive threat, and now that win condition is going to come a turn quicker too. So,
Well, he's got Sea Giant, and he's got Abusive. Seems good. I think
And
you abusive the Argus. There you go. Now you have to play the Sea Giant first. So don't get too greedy for those juggles, you know. Is he thinking about Lotheb? No, I would hate to see a Lotheb here because
he might be thinking about not trading.
a cost reduced Frost Nova is still playable. So normally turn 7 is like the perfect time to Lotheb. In this case, it's not.
Yeah.
Well, Flame Strike, it's not bad, but
This seems like a pretty obvious Frost Nova Fireball face ping.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking you could just Frost Nova Healbot. Yeah, that seemed like a pretty obvious Healbot to me, TJ.
Yeah. Little.
Yeah, TJ, pretty obvious, huh?
Oof.
Uh,
Obvious misplay.
Maybe just Lotheb now.
What is it accomplishing? I mean,
It guarantees you don't get frozen for next turn. Just set up the double PO lethal.
yeah. Ooh, Alex Strauza.
Now, it's going to be tough to PO something, though, because he's going to ping off the Abusive, most likely. And then he's going to kill the Juggler. And he might even Frostbolt that 8/8. And then he just wouldn't have the lethal.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how Firebat plays this out. I think he's got pretty good tools to win. I mean, we're staring at enough damage to end the game. It's just a matter of if he has time.
What to do? What to do?
So if he pings off the wow.
Ooh, he's going to squeeze in the face damage with the Healbot, it looks like.
Time runs out on me.
Well, so if he pings off the Abusive Sergeant too, that means the Healbot can get in for multiple points for multiple hits, right? Because he won't be able to pop the block and kill the anti-Killbot next
He
turn.
actually can't pop the block right now. He doesn't
Dark
have enough
Peddler.
damage.
All right, so
He
he's got
only has 21, which is... So we'll see. Get
He
a
picks up
mad
a
production
Sergeant.
value.
Ooh.
No. Absolutely nothing. So he's going to tap for it.
and
Oh, God. Well,
that's
pretty seal it.
That's game. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Firebat just has the time now. I mean, Lotheb's already been used. He can just burn him.
Yep.
And yeah,
Is
that's
there anything that you even have to play around? No.
Kazan. Like,
Slam that pyro. I don't think there's. I
there's
guess you could. No, I don't know if there's a way you could play around Kazan. You could Arcane Intellect into
I
Ice Barrier.
really doubt you can play around Kazan here.
Yeah, so
That's
it
not
doesn't
just
really
like a
matter.
stupid play, you know? Like, you just like don't play your burdens play. Like, I was trying to play around Kazan.
Yeah.
You're like, what? Just kill him.
Well, that's a pretty quick 2-0 lead for Firebat, who's going to pick up the win with the Freeze Mage. Admirable still just struggling to find a win with the Zoo. In the first game, in the first game of the day, he was struggling. First match, he was struggling with.
Zoo.
Oh wow, okay, it was Zoo. Interesting, which is either an indication that a lot of players are targeting Zoo with their lineups, which
Now-
judging by Firebat's lineup seems right because he has Patron and Freeze.
I find it very interesting. Admirable banned Druid. Throughout the entirety of regionals, we were banning. Maybe we have the overlay wrong here. Firebat has a shaman deck. Apparently.
Yeah, I
Oh
remember.
yeah, he did. Okay, so the overlay coming in was wrong.
He had Shaman instead of Warlock.
Yeah.
That's
so
why I was confused before. 'Cause
I was
like,
confused
wait a
too,
second.
because Admiral
like-
bans Warlock like every match.
Yeah.
So pretty solid start for Firebat. I would say this matchup is Zoo favored, but not by too much.
Mhm.
The Shaman can just kind of burn you out, especially if you get really efficient trades like Totem Golem into Voidwalker. Ooh, and cute little play here. So Admiral
Look at
gonna,
Firebat's face.
I think Admiral's owling this, yeah, just to save his 1-3.
Firebat looked disgusted.
It's like, man, I could have just won on the spot, but instead, I have to play out this game.
All right, will he pick up the abusive sergeant? Power overwhelming. Okay.
Not bad, not bad.
Oh, I thought the Void Walker was gonna have to go through even more torment.
I wonder why he opts to keep a 1-3 here. Like, what does that really trade into more favorably?
Well, if this is a Feral Spirit turn, then he's
Yeah, okay.
he's left with a 1/1 instead of left with
And
nothing.
he's got 2 abusives in his deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I see that.
So
It also trades more favorably into Unearned Horse Rider, so I'm just stupid. Like, Admirable played it right. Alright. So
no, you didn't say that it was the wrong play. You just said
Right,
why,
I was just
and we
wondering.
figured out the reason why. Deductive reasoning.
Guess he's gonna go for this juggle. Oh no, okay. I was about to say Imp King Boss is just really strong here, and
Yeah.
so the juggler's kind of like a bait draw. Like, no, do this instead, and it's like not that good actually.
Firebat hasn't put a single point of damage.
Yeah, no Doomhammer either is a big disappointment for him. Well,
All burn spells and a Sir Finley. This is the hand that you don't want against Zoo
Yeah.
because you need to have your early game creatures at least chip in for some damage.
yep. If you're gonna beat Zoo, I mean, this is really why you would be unfavored in the first place. He is gonna opt to just grab that Hunter Hero power and start doming though, and
I might have taken Life Tap there. I mean,
Ooh.
Hunter Hero Power is like an
I
automatic.
think I like Hunter here because
Yeah,
he's
I
got
suppose.
he's got the cards to win, and he doesn't really want to hurt himself because at the end of the day, this is a race.
Yeah,
And it's a race that Admirable is winning right now, I think.
yeah.
But is there really anything else Firebat can opt into anyway? Right now he's got 11. Doomhammer's not that huge because it's going to be tough. I guess he'll, yeah, probably Lava Shock this turn so he can play it. Or he could Lava Shock next turn, actually.
Well, if he Lightning Bolt,
You could just shock the Juggler. I mean, you are denying a lot of damage to your opponent that way.
yeah.
And then you can Doomhammer next turn. You're probably rolling a lot of damage unless your opponent picks up Argus. Because I don't think right now he has enough damage to just say, screw your minions, face, face, face. I think that's the main thing. So that's going face. And now he can Lava Shock off the Overload, get a hero power in, kill
I
the
mean,
Juggler. Yeah.
He doesn't have totem anymore, so there's no point in holding on to it for spell damage.
Yeah.
That spell is almost always going face, so you might as well fit it in while you have the extra
So
mana.
now he's put himself ahead in the race. So Admiral needs to pick up, like, not Nerubian Egg.
It seems like exactly when he doesn't want Nerubian Egg, he picks up Nerubian Egg.
Implosion's not bad. To spawn as Nerubian, put a lot of damage on the board, but he is under some heat. Especially because I believe Firebat's not going to kill anything, so he's just going to lock the board, and is this maybe guaranteed lethal?
3,
Over 2
7,
turns.
8. There's 11 damage on the board, so he's dead in 2 turns. He's got 6.
He needs a Crackle for 6, doesn't he?
No, he needs a Crackle for 4. Oh no, he doesn't have enough mana.
Yeah, he needs a Crackle for 6.
Whoa! No, he can. He
Oh,
does.
no.
He needs exactly a Crackle for 6 or 1 or a
Oh,
rock
man.
right now.
Oh, the taunt changes things, though.
Okay.
But with Leroy...
So let's count. If he plays Feral Spirits, 3 imps go in,
Yep.
and 3 damage from elsewhere.
He would have
5 damage
5.
on the board.
So you'd be dead to Leroy or PO. He already used 1 PO. You're dead to 6 damage, essentially.
I think I would just Crackle face just to see.
You'd take the 25%? I guess you could do that and Feral Spirits.
Yeah.
So, like, 75% of the time you just fall back on your other
And then
plan.
you can always, and then you have 7 damage next turn plus.
Yeah, because you'd only be overloaded for, you'd lose to Lotheb.
Or you could play super safe and like Lava Burst off the 4/4. But they'd be so overloaded next. You'd be overloaded for 4.
Yeah,
because
but you
only
can
have
still
5
get
mana
the
available.
you can still get the Crackle down.
Oh, if this rolls 3, he's taking the instead of taking the 25% chance to
Oh,
win,
God.
he's taking a 25% chance to lose.
Oh no! It rolled 3. He's dead.
Ouch.
Oh man, feels bad, man.
The
Yeah,
direwolf.
the Direwolf adds. He would have been dead either way, I think, with the Direwolf top deck.
I think you go for that Crackle. That hit 3 because it was on the Nerubian. If that was face, 6 for sure.
Sure. Yeah, he definitely had a lot of options. Unfortunately, I'm going to die to that Leroy. And for the people in the chat that hate Leroy Jenkins, they can rest easy tonight because Doomguard would have gotten there too.
Yeah, and Admirable sequenced that in a way to show Firebat that Crackle rolling for 3 was inconsequential.
You really couldn't sequence it any other way, I guess. You could sequence it poorly.
No,
It'd be
he just didn't attack with the Nerubian, right?
I don't know. Probably.
Okay.
Either way, he didn't need the Nerubian, but there's no way to not show that you didn't need it.
So, Monk, a.k.a. Kevin Monk Dong,
Okay.
Team Liquid, which is one of the partners with One Nation of Gamers and Geico and Alienware, has let me know that the answer to that question is Death Star B3, but it was in late 2014 who took out one Direwolf. Sometimes I don't know how Monk could be sure.
Why? Direwolf is pretty good. Like, just having 2 of them for the sheer consistency is alright.
I do call Monk the historian of Hearthstone, but only between the periods of September 2014 and August 2015.
Ooh, a little bit more of a cutoff in 2015. Only 11 months.
Yep. All right. Well, moving on to this matchup, Admiral's playing Patron Warrior, Firebat's playing Aggro Shaman. We saw this matchup a little bit earlier, and it basically came down to Firebat picking up a Rock Baiter off the top to win the game. We'll see if this match is going to come down to that as well. Right off the bat, he's in an okay start. He's got a lot of early creatures. He's got Feral Spirits to protect all the small stuff. And he's able to take out an Armor Smith and deny it pretty much any value, because the value is negated by the fact that the Leopard Nova is going to get in for 2 damage.
Yeah, this is, what did he pick up there? Is that a Whirlwind?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so, because minions deal 1 damage to all minions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is a Whirlwind.
Trivia question. Trivia.
Okay.
How many cards in the game of Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft end with the word minions, the card text?
I'm just going to throw an answer out. I'll just say 7.
All right. in 10 minutes' time, Monk will give us the answer.
Nice.
Can always count on Monk.
Sure can.
Well, this is okay. This contests a little bit of the board. Admirable's still relatively healthy. If he can pick up another whirlwind effect.
Yeah, I think this Flame Juggler is going to be really big. It's only a 1 in 3.
Even if it does hit the Armor Smith, he still just kills it with the Fiery War Axe. He doesn't play anything else if he
Yeah,
plays
but then he's not developing anything. He draws 1 less off Battle Rage. It's still a really big deal compared to if he missed.
Yeah, if he misses and hits a cool Taskmaster, oh man.
Yeah,
3
it's just-
cards from Battle Rage?
Yeah, and you give him an armor.
Brutal.
So it looks like he's going to take the safe way, maybe? I mean, the Flame Juggler is definitely like your Hail Mary here. You're just like, I'm not winning unless I hit this one juggle. But yeah, he's going to take the safe way. Which you can't really fault him for. I mean, he definitely looks like he's in a good position this game. Ooh. Admiral's going to make some patrons. And these can be killed by Firebat, but it would cost him a lot of burn. The Doomhammer would be an excellent pickup.
Yeah.
There it is. So he's probably going to kill off at least a patron, maybe the 2/2 as well. Can't imagine Admiral was happy about this, but it's also something you have to consider when you make the play he made is what's your opponent's most common turn 5 play? Doomhammer. So yep, just going to play some board cleanup, and this matchup can get into a really weird state where neither deck's really good at playing off the top of the deck, and so it gets into this weird state where you're both just grinding it out.
Hoping for the right answer to whatever your opponent just
Yeah,
did.
and you would think Patron's favored in that, and they kind of are, but Ancestral Knowledge is really good in a top decking battle, and really the only great top decks Patron has are Boom and Gromish. So Admirable really just needs to find a way to set up a Battle Rage for multiple cards.
Yeah.
And it might not happen if Firebat just kills off both minions.
So he might use a Rock Biter to kill off both minions.
Yeah. That seems to be his most efficient line here.
Earthshock seems like it's going to get a little bit more value.
Oh yeah, he wants to
Armor
kill an
Smith or
Acolyte.
an Acolyte of Pain.
Yeah.
And he does get to develop something here, so he's basically just hoping that Admirable doesn't draw into a weapon.
Oh man.
Uh,
Admirable's got to be looking at this weapon and thinking, is there any reason to go face? Like, could I just kill my opponent?
well, Admirable does not run.
And that's where he's going. So,
All right.
Ooh, Feral Spirits is pretty punishing for that, though. Yeah. Punished.
He doesn't run Corcoran Elites, though. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting choice because
Doesn't
his only other
increase
out
his
would be
outs.
second Death
Second
Spite
Despite.
or Grom,
Mm-hmm.
which, and that's given that your opponent doesn't draw into second Feral Spirits, doesn't roll a Taunt Totem.
Firebat's laying on the pressure, though. Oh my god, that is his best draw in his deck. Not only is it a minion, it's a minion that draws you a card. He gets to draw 2 more cards off Battle Rage.
And if he picks up another
Oh
Battle
god. It's happening. Execute. Probably just gonna armor up instead of slamming. Firebat's not out of it yet. The Earthshock, especially with the Spell Power Totem, is gonna do work here. How much damage is this?
I don't know.
12, 19 maximum, so he's 4 off. If he were to just, roll Perfect Crackle. So he's gonna crackle while he has the Spell Power Totem out, which is correct. It rolls the max.
Wow.
He is running out of Doomhammer charges though, so
Yeah.
it's not like this damage is gonna be coming in infinitely. Especially with the slam coming out onto that 2/2.
So he does totem up here.
Yeah. Taunt and healing's not that bad because it makes it so slam can't kill the 2/2.
Even Searing Totem's okay. Because
Yeah,
it's gonna
searing
get
and taunt were what I was thinking of.
repetitive damage. It's not often that you say, I really wish I could get a Searing Totem here.
Hey man, Paladin Hero Power, not too bad.
Yeah.
Firebat gonna open up his draws to a second Doomhammer here rather than a second Rockbiter, which that's it. That's game. Oh, he can't do it.
Oh,
he doesn't have
can't
mana.
do it till next turn.
Yeah, so
Can he live for one turn?
do you just Shredder armor and say go? I mean, surely you do, right?
Oh man, you
Yeah,
can't slam because you need that as your
No, you
active
need the
if
slam.
You don't pick it up.
Yeah, what do you slam anyway? Like the tooth?
Spell power totem.
No, no way. Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, nothing's gonna do it here for Firebat.
Yeah.
Even
Unless
taunt
he lava
totem.
bursts the.
Yeah, he could kill the Shredder.
I don't think there's any world where you kill the Shredder.
That'd be such a like.
A next level play because he already went face with the.
I mean,
Flame Juggler.
Chat would be calling back on that. Like,
Yeah, his only
he
thought
needs
process there
exactly
was seeing
Grom.
if he wanted to lava burst face.
Ah, he would have drawn in the second slam anyway, CJ.
Slamming the spell power totem was right.
Slamming it was correct, yes. Well,
You know me so well.
and that 4 damage to face from the Death Bite ended up being the difference somehow.
Yeah, but in a parallel universe, I know you love these questions. In a parallel universe, if he had drawn, Firebat had drawn the lethal damage, and
It would have been a punish.
it would have been a punish because
It's
the
almost
Flamethrower got
like-
in for 6 damage.
It's almost like different lines have different percentages of working out. But in chat's mind, it was either a right or a wrong play.
Well, we're going into a game number 5 here, so
And it's a smork mirror.
yes, it is. And so you are the one who has the most insight into this mirror matchup because you know Admirable's deck, which is the version that you guys worked on with Flame Tongue Totems and Dr. Boom, whereas Firebat runs the more standard list, which has Earthshock, tops out at Doomhammer, and runs
This is a
no Flame
huge
Tongue
flame
Totem.
juggler. This is just like crippling if it hits.
Hail
this.
Mary!
Nailed it.
Nailed it!
Got him. Second
This is
flame
a
juggler.
huge flame juggler.
Oh my gosh.
It's
This
almost
flame
as if
juggler
flame-
is huge. But yeah. Totem Golem off the top, or no, he had it in his hand, but it contests the 2-3 really well. Totem Golem. Oh wow. Admiral's actually going to go for Finley Rockbiter, I guess, and like set himself up next turn to Feral Spirit. Yeah. Very interesting play. I probably would have just Totem Golemed and let my opponent have the trade.
He does get the shapeshift, so that's really good in the mirror because not only are you gaining a health, if you have Doomhammer, you're turning Doomhammer into 16 damage,
And
4 turns into
even
24.
more importantly than that, it lets Doomhammer kill things like Feral Spirit,
Yeah,
which otherwise are a very big roadblock to you just Doomhammering your opponent to death.
yeah. Instead of taking 4, you take 3. In doing so, it feels like it's the most well-rounded hero power in the mirror.
Yeah, his other options were heal, and I didn't quite see the other one because he took Druid so fast, but
Yeah,
I assume it wasn't very good. Heal's not very good because the Druid hero power is basically the same. It's a good compromise between healing and not. Now, Firebat kept the Earthshock, and it didn't really pan out amazingly this game. He was hoping for more of like a Leper Gnome from Admirable, but it does find a 2-1 to kill, which is about what you can expect. And what's
So-
interesting here is Admirable's going to be telegraphing with this Totem Golem that he doesn't have Doomhammer next turn. If he had Doomhammer, he would have just hero powered. So Firebat does have the Doomhammer, but Admirable has more minions. He's got a more minion-based approach right now. Which, since Firebat doesn't have enough damage to outright in the game, I'd probably favor the side with the minions.
oh,
Yeah, that's a lot
a
of
lot of damage.
Yeah. Firebat might get to the point where he has to like crackle that Totem Golem. Let's see, how much damage is this though? This is a lot over 2 turns. I mean, the Doomhammer's going to take him to 16. But yeah, I mean, immediately Firebat kind of realizes I probably have to crackle this, and we're going to have to see if he rolls another 3. It's kind of his thing today. Oh no. Not like this.
Oh man, that is brutal. But the thing is, he did roll a 7 with spell power last game.
Yeah, when it didn't matter.
It just but
that's so
the
sad.
game doesn't understand when it matters and when it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so Firebat has to obviously start playing really defensively now.
Yeah.
He's not in the worst shape ever because those burn spells for Admiral. Oh god.
What?
Yeah, this is the tech card that Admirable put in that I don't have in. I didn't really get a chance to mention it, but yeah, he's like, well, 2 Flame Tongues, man. I'm playing Leroy.
Well, okay, so
It's gonna be
Admirable-
really hard for him to get a Leroy in here, though, right? Like,
yeah. Taunt, just get a totem every return. It's just a matter of time before he gets a taunt totem. Admirable might realize that and just say, you know what, I need a Leroy
well,
now.
he can always lightning bolt but yeah, if he Leroy's now, unless he's exactly dead the next turn, he would have lethal with those spells, and I think that's what he's gonna go for.
Yeah, because this will be the last turn.
Oh, Flame
Does that
Tongue
change
totem.
things though?
No.
Okay.
I think his play is certainly Leroy face.
Because that would, if you saved it, that would only mean Flame Totem
All
is
he's
2
thinking
mana for
about,
2 damage.
all he's thinking about is what am I dead to? And at the end of the day, if you're dead to something, you're dead to it. Because what else are you gonna do? I think it'd be strictly a mistake if you hero powered and lava burst this turn, because then you let your opponent taunt totem back into the game.
Yeah. So he's going to put him at 8, which he does have 8 damage from hand next turn. That's not it. He needed...
Yeah.
If he had Rock Biter, it would be 10 plus 5, 15. No, he still wouldn't even had it with Rock Biter. So
Yeah, he only has 17 here. So, he would have had 19 with the Rock Biter. Still not enough.
yeah,
So,
he rolls spell damage, but it's inconsequential. And
yeah.
I think that means Admirable is going to take a reverse sweep, going down 2-0.
Yep.
He's going to bring it back to take a 3-0 victory.
Probably feels good, you know, coming
As long as he spots it.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a tough lethal. Yeah. Feels bad for Firebat, you know, to lose him this way. And then last match not having the best of luck with his draws and like freeze versus Secret Paladin, but
Yeah.
that's gonna do it.
Indeed. That Lavaverse hovered a little bit.
Admirable was extremely close to just repeating his regionals loss, which was just getting 0-6'd with the deck in a row. But dodges it just barely. 1 in 5 is good enough.
Yeah, so that means Admirable is going to move on to the decider match to determine the second person that'll be moving on to the playoff stage, which will happen on Sunday. He's going to face off against LBYS. So, is that a mirror matchup?
No, because
Or not a mirror
LBYS
matchup. Is that a rematch? Sorry.
No,
sorry.
it's not. It's a completely new match.
Okay.
We saw Admirable fall to Shoop earlier.
Mhm.
But this is going to be new. We're going to see 2 different lineups that we've seen before, but never seen them match up. We'll have to see how it works out.
Yeah. So, just to give you guys a quick rundown of the schedule, the next match will be the last match of the day, the decider match for Group A. Tomorrow, we'll have Group B, which Chalky will be participating in, and Crip will be joining me for commentating, or maybe I'll be joining Crip. Oh, man. And then Sunday, of course, will be the playoff stage where we will determine the winner and the person who will go home with the $3,000 and the spot to the PAX Prime tournament. But we are going to have to go to a quick break before we jump into the last match. Keep in mind, guys, during the break, head over to geico.onog.gg. You can get a Geico quote, also enter in to win an Alienware PC by doing so. Big shout-outs once again to Geico, Alienware, and of course, One Nation of Gamers for putting on this circuit. It's a great circuit. The website has more details in the top right. You can hit 2016 circuit and then sign up. The next open, I believe, is in a few weeks, sometime in March. So if you want more details about that, head over there. Largest prize pool for any open out there right now. So make sure you guys get involved in that. It's a pretty cool thing. But quick break before we jump into the last match of the day. So don't go anywhere, guys. The conclusion for Group A for feature number 1 will continue right after this.